So it's about nurturing children and your career, right? So we find that this is a topic that is very interesting because we had careers, okay? And we have children when children are growing up, we are all working, correct or not? For me and you, both of us, right? Okay. So I should introduce about Katrina, okay? Then after you can introduce about me. So Katrina she's a 7-figure career change maker. Coach.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I just not play it, right? This is a very, very nice slide that I'll show everyone. Okay, so she's certified.
Give me a chance to speak and introduce myself, okay?
Okay, can.
So for myself, I'm actually Singaporean, but I've been living in Hong Kong for 10 years. So my background is I have always been in a recruiter, like a headhunter. So I work with a lot of big MNCs and professional firms. And from recruitment, I actually transitioned into a career change maker coach in 2018. That's where I started out coaching business. All right. I'm also a certified NLP practitioner. In case you don't know what NLP is, neuro-linguistic programming. So where you help people to, you know Anthony Robbins, right? He uses NLP, right?
Yes.
So this is where I help a lot of my one-on-one clients to help them to shift their mindset and to reframe the way they think. I'm also a certified ICF coach as well, and have been in recruitment for 15 years and 3 years of coaching experience. And I'm also a LinkedIn trainer, so I train people about LinkedIn. I do LinkedIn workshops apart from my one-on-one coaching sessions. And I also awarded top 50 influencers in 2020. So in case you want to connect with me, there's a link below. You can snapshot it, and then you can always reach out to me on all my different platforms.
Yes. I'm also your student, Katrina. So thank you so much for helping you to link in, and I really truly enjoyed your course. Okay, so something about me. I'm a Singapore's first tactical parenting strategies and study coach. And to me, I've coached students as well as parents using my 4-step role system. And my main aim is to help parents be happy parents to happy kids. Okay, and I have actually value on my YouTube as well as Facebook. So this will also give more content to anyone who wants to have about learning or parenting. Okay, so this is our main topic. What we're going to learn today. Yeah, so we just have a few slides, right? So what we learn today. So one of the questions we have is that why do we want to talk about this topic about career and nurturing the children? Yeah, so it's important, yeah, and it's impacting a lot of people. That's why we are having this topic over here, right? So, and also for career women, or let's say the daddies here, right? They're all busy, working, wanting to get better in their career, and sometimes as you want to do that, there's a lot of time involved, and you get to do more work. And then sometimes you look back and say, hey, I don't spend enough time, helping my children grow. So that's why I feel it's everyone's mind when they are having this topic. So what do you think, Katrina?
What I think? Okay. So for me, because as a recruiter, right, I have worked with 70% of my clients women. A lot of them are all mid-level to very senior level. So I have a lot of clients that are women. I also have a lot of candidates that are women. So I work with so many of them, and a lot of them share with me their stories. Now even when I coach a lot of executives and C-level women as well. And you can see that, of course, for me, I personally feel that as women, it's important. Of course, we can make our choice whether to work, right? But I do feel that working is also helping us to find our life purpose. But if you choose not to work, then you can always do other things to actually help yourself to be able to fulfill yourself in other ways, like maybe you do a side hustle, a side gig, or anything like that. Because if you're so out of the market, it may not be good for yourself and even your children, because you are not kind of like equipped with what's going on outside the world. That things are changing so quickly. So it's good to know what's going outside, so that when you are educating your children, you can also guide them as well.
That's right. So this is very important, and also we know that a lot of women, they also want to prove themselves in the career. That's why both are very important to them, as women, as a career woman, as well as their children, right? And more so when you're you're actually having the executives, they actually also have a lot of drive to want to help their children to do better. Yeah, because they themselves know that the ways, they could be very academic as well, they could be very professional, and they feel that, hey, I need to bring even more potential out of my children. So that is why a lot of women actually has this dilemma, yeah, if I work so hard, then I don't have time for my children, I cannot groom them, I cannot help them to in their academics, and that is why they are in such a. So today we are going to learn how some of the methods that they can use to help career women, or whether it's career daddies, how they can cope with nurturing children and helping them to grow, as well as they're also not like missing out on their career as well. Okay, let's go to the next one. So what we're going to learn today is we're going to share some proven strategies, okay, for career mummies, okay, career daddies, okay, to help in nurturing the children that you are proud of. Okay, so mean to say we want to groom our children, and then how can we use time, a little bit of time every day, or how we can help them to realize their potential, and so you don't feel that you are missing out, Okay, and then next one is, yeah. So also let's stay on till the end of our live, because we have two of us have gifts for you, so that you can actually learn more from us. Okay, we are going to give some tickets to my webinar, and also for me and Katerina, we have a 30-minute Zoom consultations. Okay, yeah. Okay, we have gone through the why. Okay, the why, and I think we have a lot of different things, that we want to fulfill. And once we get married, I feel a lot of mothers and a lot of daddies, they feel that, hey, my offspring has to be as good as me or even better, right? Do you feel that way? Like we feel that, hey, now the world is changing, right? We were good at our times, right? But now times have changed. We also want our children to get better, so that the motivation, and also probably is the fear that our children may not be able to keep up, also comes to us. Yeah.
This is called the Kiasu syndrome.
Yeah, it's indeed the world has changed so much, and we are fearful. Parents are fearful, as well as they also find that the things that the children study are getting harder. They can't also keep up with that. Do you agree with that?
Actually, if you ask me, I think it's a mindset also, right? The parents' mindset. First, how the parents think affects how the children think, right? If let's say the parents are all about grades, about going to the best schools, and then the kids will also kind of like feel that they have to go in line with that. But of course, because like, for example, like for you live in Singapore, even Hong Kong,
yes,
education is actually very, very competitive, and a lot of parents, I noticed in Hong Kong, even before the kid is born, the parents already have to apply for kindergarten already.
That's right. The preschools, right? The good preschools, right?
So it has come to that point right now whereby parents really do want the best. But what do you need as a kid? What do you think best sometimes may not be the best for the kid.
Absolutely.
I know recently, like this kid that this very sad story about this kid under so much pressure, whereby he actually killed another boy in school, right? So this is all the immense pressure that kids have nowadays. But the parents sometimes impose on the kids because it's also the way you think. So I feel that sometimes we also have to reflect on ourselves about our own mindset.
Yes, I totally agree with you. So we are all coaches, so mindset is very important, as well as what kind of expectation we want our children to have, or what we want to achieve, right? And what are we imposing on our children? And it comes to our mindset, whether do we want, what kind of kids that do you want to grow up to be? It could be you want them to be happy, you want them to have fulfilling, they have a passion for learning. These are all very good qualities, and then results in a certain way, it does matter. But if you cultivate these different attitudes, right, and the mindset is right for the children, I don't see a reason that you wouldn't actually groom the child to be what you want them to be, right? Yeah. So
a lot of parents now, probably also because with this pandemic, it can be also very stressful right now, because you're not sure whether your job is going to be secure, and also when you have a hybrid working, there are times where you actually work longer hours than before, because you don't know.
There's no cut.
Yeah, is very, very important for any parents, like when you don't bring your stress back to your at home with the kids as well. So that's how you have to kind of balance yourself very well. You must learn how to switch. That's why we learn how to teach people how to switch their mindset very quickly, where you can play different roles at home and at work, so that with your energy, the kids also can feel, right? When they come back, rest. When you come back,
correct.
It actually translate back to the kids as well.
Yes. And if you're not happy, you're frustrated, with the things at home, or you're not helping your children, and it also lead to your career also be affected. Yeah, it's like why I chose these two pictures is like, on one hand, we said, oh, we want to do this, at home, but it also could affect us in our career as well. Yeah, we're having like thoughts like, I didn't do enough, so it's important. That's why we are two of us here. Yes, we need to understand what we want, right? And also do our best to balance our wants and our needs. Yeah. Okay. So my first strategy, okay, yes.
So that we can answer later if you have any questions.
Yes. Because all the hugs and all the
hugs.
Yes. Correct. So my strategy for today, as a parenting strategy is that, actually for career mummies and daddies here, right? Actually, I feel that I have a lot of parents that I coach, right? They actually have a lot of successes at work, and also the way they handle their team, the way they handle their colleagues, these are all very important lessons we actually can share with our children. Yeah, and the place that we want to sound more credible to our children. We are also humans, but by not sharing our successes, our children will not know how good we are. And a lot of times that our children think they have a different opinion of us. But if we actually we actually tell them that we are, probably we have a team of people below us and how we interact with them, they actually are very interested. Yeah, and it's important that this is a strategy where you actually can talk to your child just a few minutes a day to tell what do you do at work, what are the things that's happening between you and your colleagues, your team, and even like where is the office actually. Yeah, I mean now with the pandemic, but it used to be that when you have nice offices, and these are things that you actually wow your children, and that's the topic where your children will be very curious, what are you doing? Wow, so you have, because I have my own experience with my children. So I have two children, and they love to go to my office. Okay, they will also ask about what kind of position you are in, and who your bosses like you, do you have colleagues, where do you go for lunch. So I feel important that if we feel that we want to nurture children, right, we also should share about our, whether it's successes or whether it's something that you feel maybe you do not know very well, but you want to learn. And these are the experiences that you share with your children. Yeah.
Exactly. I do agree with that because, as myself being a coach with all the professionals, so a lot of them are working moms or working dads, right? So I always tell them that you have to share your wins as well, but also you must know when to appreciate your win. A lot of times there are wins, but they don't see it as a win, right? They just see it as another day. So I think it's very important that we always recognize even the little wins that we have in our job, so that we firstly we feel like we accomplished something.
Yes, correct.
And so you can share it with your children.
Yes.
Because children need to learn as well what they're working for is like her.
That's right.
A bed of roses, right?
Yes.
And they know how to. Also, at a young age, they must learn how to have a bit of independence and also learn to solve problems. I think a lot of parents tend to like to solve their kids' problems.
That's right.
Yeah. So you have to let them to learn sometimes.
Yes, let them know. Yes.
Just like when I manage a team, right? I don't allow them to come to me and ask me how to solve this. I always ask them, tell me how you're going to solve it first, then we can work together. So
that's right. I also learn from you. Yes, whatever lessons we learn at work, right? We also can teach our children and also ask them to think, Yeah, so I think it's a very good point that you brought up, Yes, and also this doesn't take a long time, right? Every day you just share one thing, whether you actually face a challenging issue or you have a difficult colleague, all these are things that you share with them to build their attitudes towards learning, towards embracing changes, and as well as like problem solving, like you say, don't come to me with problems, why don't you think of some solutions and come to me? Maybe you could share a story of how you tell your subordinates to go back and then think about it and come back. Then they will say, oh, I actually can do that. Then you also can tell your children, hey, you can do that also. When next time I ask you to do something, you come back to me with some solutions. Yeah.
This is all reprogramming. You know what I mean? You reprogram their mind. You teach them, especially they're young. You teach them from young, they will cultivate that habit as well.
Yes.
So that they don't always come to you like, oh, I don't know how to do this.
Correct.
I don't know how to do that, right?
Yes. Self-study and self-thinking is so important, rather than, we give them an environment that they have answers all the time. And that is when they don't exercise their brains. And yeah, because, in Singapore, PSLE, actually, have you heard that PSLE mathematics is very hard? It's a very difficult paper. You heard that before?
I know. Because I see all my all study so hard, right? So I know Singapore education is also very tough.
Yes.
But yeah, but I think it's good for the children and for the parents really.
Yes, to start thinking about problem solving, right? Yes.
Yeah, let them learn.
And this increases the credibility that you have, because
they also become more creative in thinking.
And they understand the real world as well. Like for example, that you cannot be late for work. Yeah, you have to be dressed in a certain way. There's rules to conform to, and this is very interesting. And to them, they find that it's very interesting to talk to you, and then there's something that has a purpose. Important, right? When we do coaching, is that children also need a purpose, where they okay, I'm going to be like mommy. I'm going to go to office. I'm going to go into office with big, nice office, and then I work there. So that's what's one of my dreams for my son when he went to the office with me.
Yeah. Right? The world of recruitment or employment has changed drastically over this past 2 years.
Right.
Actually, you can also start to see that even like Harvard and all, they're having trouble admitting people, because nowadays people may not see this as their key priority as well. A lot of all these entrepreneurs, a lot of them, after they graduate, they start doing their own thing. They start becoming now with Bitcoin, NFT, a lot of young millionaires. You know what I mean? So I am foreseeing that there will be a shift in how the whole economy is as well, and how hiring is going to be as well.
Yes.
So I think that the parents also can
expose them, right? Yeah, I think we're going to go to this point. Thank you, Katrina, for this about exposing our children to the future, to the what's happening right now in our world. Yeah. So I should put second strategy. Yeah. So this is a picture of like if you have that kind of you have the qualifications or you have the skills. I mean, you can actually share with your children what you have. That is very important. Yeah. And my second strategy is actually, this is sharing good times and dedicated time to each one of your children. Okay, so I feel that a lot of parents or that I coach is that they have 2 or 3 children, and we find that they do not have a personal time dedicated for every child. Okay, this is a very important tip, because every child has their own way to want to communicate with anything, whether the mommy or the daddy. Yeah. So this is why I find that this is strategy 2 is, it doesn't really take a lot of time. It could be just about 10 minutes, because you have, like, for example, you have 3 children, right? You can actually spend like maybe the first one, we can have it at dinner. You can sit with her at dinner and talk to her. And maybe after that is story time. And after that, you can say a goodbye to the third one, because maybe she sleep a bit later, or it depends on the big time. So it doesn't take a long time. And also, we also encourage parents to go with the bigger kids, to go with them for single dates, where you go out for dinner or you go out for a snack or something. That's all. Yeah. So what do you think about this strategy?
I think it's good, because it's not about how much time you spend with the kids. Sometimes it's also about the quality time that you spend with the kids. Because if you're a working mom, working dad, sometimes you also get very tired from work as well, right?
Very tired.
Try to spend, that when you spend that time with them, you spend, sometimes we're all guilty of phone, and all this kind of thing, right? So maybe we can just don't spend so much time, just really concentrate on them. Even that 15 minutes.
That's all they need.
They don't complain like, how come you're always checking the phone? Yeah, so you have to maybe give them some time for them as well. Then they will feel like, okay, you're present with them.
Yes, that's right.
That's the work you have to learn to de-stress as well.
And I think in our time when we were working, right, we learned how to schedule our calendar, remember? So these are also important pockets of time we can schedule for ourselves. It could be a Monday, it could be a Wednesday, and it's for me, it's easier for me to remember, maybe Saturday is for my daughter, Wednesday is for my son. So I also tend to remember in this way. I schedule it in my schedule. It's just like professionals do, right? We schedule a time. Every day is 9 o'clock. I will speak to my eldest daughter. Yeah, after 9:30, I will go and speak to my son. So it could be done, in a very professional and easy to remember method. Then you will make sure that every day you just speak to one of your child, right?
Maybe you can have like maybe dinners. If let's say your work is so busy, you really cannot have dinner every day with your family. Maybe you try to make it at least 3 times a week.
Yeah, make time, yes.
Make time, so that they have something to look forward to as well. And then weekends, weekend, then maybe do some activities together and plan with them. So they also have something to look forward to.
So the key point is you have to make time and plan for it. Yeah. So it's like time management for us when we are working, right? So it's also important we make time for our family. Even now with the video calls are so easy, even though you are working somewhere else, you also can give a call or video call to your children. Yeah, tell them how much you love them, tell them what your daddy is doing or your mommy is doing. I think it's great when technology comes, and it's not difficult like last time, where it's so expensive to have a phone call, Now it's just maybe a WhatsApp video or a Zoom.
But there's a bad, good and bad, right? Because like in Hong Kong, right? Last time we have like when there's black rain and typhoon 8, we are always so happy because we still have to go to office. Okay. But now it's changed. Even there's typhoon 8 and then there's black rain, you still have to work from home because of all this Zoom and everything like that. So good and bad.
I see. There's good and bad.
Too much to look forward to already. Yeah, but definitely you're right. I think good times, how you view good times is also very important, right? Yeah. So you want to create memories with your family.
And time flies. Yeah. So if you miss that part already, my child has grown up already. And I think it's so important when we're happy at home, right? I will also work better. We also grow better in our career. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. It's always about when you're happy, everything is
smoother. Yeah.
When you're struck with a problem, or maybe there's no way that we're always happy, right? There's always
there will be times
not so happy about certain things, or maybe you're thinking about work, or maybe the stock market is going down. So, but then you have to always fine-tune your mindset to tell yourself that it's okay. How are you going to solve it? What are you going to do about it? Because sometimes there's certain things that you can do about it, right? What you can do about it so that you don't feel as bad.
Yes, and never neglect this little time, because they grow very fast. And once they already grown up, and then if you don't keep up that momentum, you find that your child don't have much things to talk to you, and that will be pretty sad, Yeah, so always have the conversations, as early as possible, and you find that it's much easier to bond with them, especially when they're in the teenage years. Okay, so I hope this is of value to take note. Yeah, my last and third strategy is expose them. I think what Katrina has been sharing with everybody is that the world is changing ever so fast. The jobs that we had like a few years back is no longer available, right? And the skills, like you said, in the workforce, right? Certain skills are also not so needed anymore. So the way that I see this is that when we want to nurture our children, we also want to tell them the truth. We also want to tell them what is the changes out there. So by talking to them, we schedule the time to talk. We can talk about things that are happening now, climate changes, technology changes. It could be like in the picture, we could even be reading or finding out things together. Okay, I don't want to write the surfing there, so I'll take a picture of a book, because I still feel it's important we share certain interests together, certain way we find information. And that's why I have a few pictures over here to say we should actually share, what is happening around, not only in Singapore, like what is in Hong Kong or around the world, what is actually happening. Yes.
The skill sets are very important nowadays. Skill sets are actually very important, right? So nowadays, there's so many all this unlearning, relearning, and all this kind of thing, because skill sets you had before is probably not relevant compared to the skill sets that's needed right now. So maybe the kids are studying something now, and maybe by 3 years or 5 years time, it's not really as relevant. So, but then what they know is to be very upmarket and continuous learning, right? Learning, because you don't have to actually get another degree or another master's.
Yes.
So now there's so many different courses.
Yes, you can just learn a module, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And I think one of the things that a lot of students think, right, what I'm studying now is not going to be relevant in the future, right? So then they will dislike the subject, you know, because I have students who have find that, yeah, they find that the subject is actually not useful, you know. Yeah, no, we're having calculators, you know, we have accounting system, you know, why are we learning principle of accounts? Okay, so this is one of the example of one of my students that is having. But nevertheless, it's the process that I always tell her, that it's a process when you learn this topic, right? The things that you learn, the way you study, and when you go for exams, what you encounter, and these are the skills, right? Life skills. Yeah, it's not only for the grades. So I also want to.
Your clients' kids might have to do a career profiling report with me because I do career profiling reports with my clients. I help them to where their talents are, what strengths and weaknesses they
I
have.
see. Wow. Sure.
You know what I mean? So that they don't waste time. For me, right, like when I look at my own career profiling report, I'm actually very good with connecting with people. So if I had put that time and go and continuously build that, probably I could have been, you know, had a good head start as well.
Yeah, I certainly agree. Yes. Because there are a lot of things that only when you do a profiling, then you know what are the maybe your strengths. Yeah, that you are more likely to show rather than in certain ways. And you don't waste, like say, you don't waste your time to go and study something that you know not what you want, or you know what is your passion about.
Parents should let their kids also, you know, decide for them. You can guide them, but also at the end they decide what they really want to do. Because if you put your kid to study something that they only don't like, but you think it's good for them, you might hurt them actually. You might hurt their career and also their life, because they won't make their own decisions anymore, because they just let the parents decide. You know what I mean? Because
Yes, correct.
Just let it off. You know, they don't care.
Yes, but
if they go out.
Correct. We always must need their opinion, especially they are grown like children, like 18 years old. Yeah, you should listen to them on what they want, because ultimately they have the one going to the school and study for it. And I think this point about sharing information and what's happening around the world, it's a both way, you know, because we also learn a lot from young people. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, for sure. I always agree that I always think that companies should always have different ages, not all the same kind.
Yes.
You don't have change of different kind of, everybody thinks differently, right? Millennials think a little bit different, Gen Z, Gen Y, all.
Yes, right. So there's so much to learn from our children, and then by listening and learning from them, we'll find that they actually are able to, I would say, the bond is created as well as the connection. And whenever you actually influence them in certain way, right, they are more likely to accept you, and there will be lesser arguments. You know, that's what I'm here to share with you all. You know, just try to listen to what they want, and also share information. Ask them to share with you what is the latest thing, what's the latest game, or maybe the latest YouTube video that's very good. You know, yeah, that's what my son always share with me, and then we find that we actually grow together. Yeah, so we don't feel like a piece of vintage. No, at least you will feel that, oh, mommy is actually know what I know and know what I want as well. So it's important we keep on this communication. Yeah.
A lot of kids who have no interest in studying to getting like top grades, like what happened to your son, right? So,
yes, correct. And that's really true. A lot of
enjoy learning.
Enjoy learning, yes, it's the passion. Okay, actually there are my two children really love passion about learning and getting what they want, you know, better, like a better category of subjects, you know, that they want. And that's how it becomes more effortless. The more time you spend when they are younger with them, talking about the dreams and talking about passion and purpose, you find that naturally as they grow older, they actually do know what they want, even exceed your expectations. That's a very good. I really want to share everybody. You take a lot of effort, you know, but later on you see that it becomes smoother according to what you tell them to do or what they naturally would do, and it becomes just happening naturally.
It's just as your job is the same, right? So you find a career that you really like. Otherwise, you know, when you don't like what you're doing, you will not accelerate as fast. You cannot change your career as well. Because it's something you don't have passion about, and or maybe you don't like the company, then you have to find out why. That's where the coaching comes in as well.
I see. That's right. Correct. Okay. So and so we have gifts for everyone here. Yeah. Maybe Katrina will actually give the link in the comments later in your page, right? Yeah.
I'll post my page because you can just connect with me on my link. And then if you want to have a 30-minute strategy call with me, just to find out more, what can you do with your career for next year? Because 2022 is coming, and 2022 is going to be another very interesting year.
Yes, we need to plan. Yes.
I can help you on this, all right?
Yes. So this is my part, and Katrina will give her free gift to everyone later on in the comments, all right?